Are you wondering how to pass the exam the first time? Well, here you go. Here's the trifecta. You guys, the three principal components so you can pass the exam the very first time. Those things are your base, so it's kind of like building a home. You have your base, which is you got to study. If you don't study, then you don't know the material, so where's it going to come from? It's going to come from nowhere. The second part is you got to focus on your body. The third thing is your mind. If you're telling yourself negative things all the time and you're worried, maybe you have test anxiety, then that's going to set you up for failure. So we're going to focus on those three things so you can successfully pass the exam. So first thing is you want to study. Now you have to go through this 90-hour real estate course, and in Arizona this is the way it is. I don't know what it's like in California and other states, but usually you have a course. So you have a set of questions, and then you answer them, and then you have like a what do you call that, Coop? Call that Q&A? Question and answer. You have the test. You have the answer sheet. So with the answer sheet, you go over all the questions that you have, and you focus on the ones that you get wrong. That's the stuff that you don't know. It's kind of obvious, but for those people that don't have really good testing skills, this is something that you need to focus on. So I've taken plenty of tests throughout my careers and in school. So I know how I learn, and you just got to know how you learn and how to best apply that. But anyway, so question and answers are really going to help you out, and these courses that you take have them already, so take advantage of it and focus on that stuff, on all the wrong answers that you got. Go over it. Just go over it until you know it by heart. So when you see that same question or a similar question, you know the answer. So that's your foundation. Also, spend a lot of time on vocab. Just expose yourself at least an hour. I think an hour is a little bit. I honestly expose myself maybe, I would say 4 to 6 hours a day. 4 to 6 hours a day. I mean, you had a stretch where I didn't study for like 3 days because I had stuff going on. Keep in mind, I was really, really busy. But when I had free time, whatever free time, I mean, even in the bathroom, when you got to sit down and, hey, you can go over some stuff, go over it, but get out of there, you know, because then your wife starts to complain. And you sneak up the bathroom. Anyways, TMI. But I would spend at least 4 to 6 hours. Yeah, I spent a lot of time just going over it, and building this curiosity, too. Like, man, what does this really mean? Like, deed of trust. What is that? What does that entail? Like, what is that, you know, concept? So I would dig into it. I would Google it. I would research it a little bit. Maybe I had a question. Maybe I want to engage with somebody and ask them questions and just kind of bounce off ideas, because it's different just by reading it from the book, and then it's different learning from Google, and then it's different when you learn in person with somebody and you're asking them questions. It's just different scenarios, and you know, you expose your mind to those different kind of things, and you really learn it and you absorb it a lot better. That you should get at least a 75%, if not an 80%. So the second thing is, now that you have your baseline, now you want to focus on your body. You want to make sure that you're ready to take the exam. If you eat 5 pieces of fried chicken on an empty stomach, Cajun style, that might not be the right choice. I knew that wasn't the right choice, but I did it twice because fried chicken is pretty delicious, and I love it. I've had a maybe 2-week stretch of nothing but like fried chicken, and I just pig out on it. I gave my body what it was asking for. So the thing is, you want to make sure you meal prep, right? You don't want to go to the exam on an empty stomach, because then you don't give your brain carbs and calories to feed off of. So while you're taking the exam, you're pretty much running a marathon, and your brain is like on overdrive. Do you want to do that? I don't think that's a good idea, right? Prep yourself. So the night before, maybe do a little carbs, you know, just to give your brain some fuel. And then during the morning, keep your stomach light, you know, have a little cracker, maybe some bread, some toast, drink some coffee, just to kind of get the juices flowing. Maybe a banana in there. But you want to place the meal so that you don't feel sleepy after eating the meal. So that's one thing. You don't want to have a big meal and then fall asleep. So space it, time it. You know your body and you know what to do. You want to hydrate. So when you don't hydrate and you're in a fight or flight situation, all your blood goes to your organs. You go pale. And then your decision-making skills go out the door. Why? Because there's no blood in your brain. So let's try to bring all the fluids necessary into your brain. Let's give it some coconut water. Let's give it some, or just water. You don't want to drink too much coffee because that's a diuretic. So I personally chose coconut water, and I probably should have drank it the night prior and maybe a little bit throughout the day too. I did take it with me to the exam. Sleep too. You want to space your sleep. Some people like take naps in the afternoon and they wake up and then they don't sleep till like 6 o'clock in the morning, but they feel alive. If it means sleeping 8 hours, then do so. If it means sleeping 4 hours, then do so. Only you know how to space out your sleep. So plan accordingly. You know when you feel refreshed after resting. So make sure you space that accordingly and time it perfectly. When you're in the exam, if you start feeling super hyper-focused on these questions and you're just kind of like drained, or what do you call that when you're super, like, you know, you're just kind of like, you got that blank face and you're just like looking at, because there's 185 questions.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Like
glazed over?
No. I know what you mean.
Yeah, we're going to go with glazed over. So in order to break that monotony, I personally, I'm not kidding, I went outside and did a few push-ups just to get that body circulating. Now that could be because of my background, right? I guess you could have done jumping jacks or something stupid like that. But I chose to do push-ups because it just breaks the monotony. It gets the blood going again. If I could, I would have ran a little bit. Yeah. I would have ran a little bit because it just circulates your blood. You want to do something to just circulate the blood, break the monotony, come back to the test, attack it, refreshed, ready to answer more questions. Alright, so now we're going to focus on your mind. So you want to come into the game ready to go, ready to fight, and super motivated. Whether that's music, whether that's chess, whether that's a game, whether that's talking to your best friend that you haven't met in that you haven't seen in a long time. Hey, that's pretty good. I should have done that. That would have been actually pretty good. But that's motivation, right? It changes your dynamic. It changes your I don't know, something. There's a word there, and I don't know what it is. And be excited. Get excited. You're going to be a real estate agent. You're going to kill it out there. I think 93% of real estate transactions happen between a broker and an agent and a salesperson. All the other ones are investment properties. I first started as an investor, and I still continue to be an investor. I invest my own money in investment properties. But now, you're going to be a real estate agent, and you're going to kill it. You're exposing yourselves to so many opportunities. You're this much closer. You already did the school exam. You already did the study. You already did the prepping. You already got your mind and body right. You're ready to go full throttle. You should be excited. You should be ecstatic. It's only going to get better. You're putting yourself in a position where opportunities present themselves that you didn't even have access to before. You're doing the right thing. Continue to do it, and stay on track. All right, stay focused. And I'd be stoked if I were you. So go out there, crush it, and I hope this review helped you. It's not really a review, but it's a game plan. And it's a game plan that I used, and I think you should use too because it's going to help you out. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, please comment below. And I'll see you next time. Good luck.